We are live. Welcome to my video. This is going to be my thoughts on The Walking Dead, Season 3, Episode 9, The Suicide King. This episode is rated TVMA, so will this video be. And like all other videos I've done on the show, absolutely loved this episode. There will be spoilers for this one and all the ones leading up to it. And yeah, let's dive right in. So, yeah, another episode that really delivers on what the cliffhanger set up. You know, I really do appreciate Merle didn't just like let all this happen. You know, he let the governor say what he was going to, and then he retorts. And yeah, it's one of those things where like the people of Woodsbury whatever. They know that he's dedicated, but they don't know how much he loves his family, because he doesn't talk to every single one of them about it. He does talk a lot about Daryl, but, you know, so they would buy that this is, you know, and ultimately, I mean, they wouldn't have gotten away if it weren't for those meddling survivors led by Rick. And let's see, I think, yeah, and Andrea trying to get involved, but being stopped by, you know, the scientist. I forgot to note, in an earlier episode, we were told the reason he didn't experience anyone turning is he was working from home. So, I mean, I guess COVID lockdown was good for something. And yeah, I really loved all there's so many different things going on, so much complexity in the scene where it's debated whether, you know, are they really going to bring Merle back to the prison? If they don't, Daryl will go, and, you know, Michonne, all these things, because, yeah, everyone has a good point, you know. And let's see, after Merle talks a lot, eventually Rick does, you know, knock him out, and somewhere Juliette Lewis thanks George Clooney. I think that more or less covers. Yeah, I really appreciate Glenn. Like, he is genuinely, you know, becoming more confident and less willing to put up with things that he thinks are wrong. You know, Maggie really brought that out in him, pointing out, you know, they keep putting you in dangerous situations. Yeah, and him, like, just stomping the head of that one walker. That was also, like, everyone around, well, both of the people around, I guess, you know, were like, I don't think he's completely okay right now. And let's see, then we have the, I think that might more or less cover. Yeah, right. I like, you know, Rick telling, you know, when Rick tells Michonne, you know, you're gone as soon as, you know, we'll patch you up and then you have to go. I like that her face is like, thank you. That was kind of what I was hoping for anyway. You know, she's very independent. She's not really, you know, she needed help with the gunshot wound earlier, but, you know, she's not much of a joiner. And, you know, at the end of the day, Rick does lock her in a cell, and, you know, there's that point about, you know, she hasn't slept in days. Yeah, oh, there we go. There's a brief lag, it looked like. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I quite liked the new survivors. I should probably give them a name. Let's see. There was a thing about they came in through the wall that there was a hole in. So yeah, I guess hole in the wall gang. I thought they were used quite well in this episode. The thing about, you know, two of them are like, we could probably take these guys before Rick comes back. You know, there's not that many of them. Some of them are kids and women, and so, you know, just, yeah. And I like the, you know, one of them pointing out, well, what are you going to do about the baby? Those are not his exact words, but I am not going to, you know, repeat his exact words. Let's see. I think that might... Right, I like the thing with, you know, as soon as they see the baby, they're like, ah, you know, just... Because, yeah, babies have that effect on, you know, it just, yeah. I think that... Does that really bring us all the way to... Yeah, I really appreciate we see the after effects of the governor's assault. You know, both Maggie and Glenn are deeply, you know, upset by it, and I really appreciate, like, they don't spell it out, but, like, you know, I feel like, maybe I'm overanalyzing, I have been known to do that, but Maggie, you know, I think maybe she blames herself, which is, you know, sadly something that does happen in real life. Some people who are assaulted blame themselves, even though, like, by definition, you cannot bring that upon yourself, you know, like, just, yeah. It's on the person or persons who assaulted you. It's their fault, not yours. And there are obviously other factors, but I'm saying if we're pointing to a specific individual or individuals, it's the perpetrators, not the survivors. And, you know, Glenn feels like, you know, he I think blames himself that he didn't protect her, and which, again, it's not really, you know, rational, but that is where the human brain goes sometimes in response to things like that. Yeah, a couple more things. Woodbury, some really great stuff there. Yeah, the governor is not okay with all these failures in such a short time. He is not used to this much loss and lack of success, you know. And yeah, you know, at this point, he's not even giving fear-mongering speeches. He's just not present, you know. He does walk out to shoot that one person, you know. He's like, I was told there was someone here I could hurt. I mean, in his defense, you know, the person was turning, and it's just, yeah. But, yeah, the fact that he just walks off after that. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Andrea gives a really great speech, and I quite appreciate, you know, there is still enough hope and optimism and humanity left in the people of Woodbury that they, you know, respond to her more uplifting speech like they also responded to his more, you know, harsh speeches. You know, or I guess just, yeah, the one speech and then the gladiatorial games and the execution by brother, this whole thing, you know. Yeah, love the fact that, yeah, once Rick and the others are out, you know, they leave a hole in the door, and one of the walkers, you know, walks up, and fantastic makeup on the face there as well. Like, clearly someone working on this was like, oh, we're gonna get like a close-up of this walker's face. We better really bring our A game. I mean, they always do, but that one was especially just like, yeah, really, really nicely done. Well designed and well applied makeup. Let's see. And yeah, that was also a great little, yeah, because, like, I mean, Rick and the others are not going to stick around to make sure to close carefully the, yeah. And yeah, of course, later they do attack. And yeah, the one there, a bunch of Woodbury residents are trying to get out. They practically storm the gate, and then the guards point guns at them, and just yeah, really really nice tense situation, tense scene. And yeah, Andrea, managing to get them to a point where it's not completely chaotic and panicky. Even tries to calm down. Karen, telling her, I understand you really want to see the manager. I mean, governor. And I think that might cover Woodbury. Yeah, I really liked Andrea confronting the governor, who brings out the Rick bag of ammo from season 1, and yeah, points out, you didn't tell me that there were, we shared a bed, but you won't share that with me. Yeah, I think that does bring us to the end of the episode. Yeah, Herschel, I think it's Herschel. Yeah, someone points out to Rick, I mean, when the governor and all these people come, we're gonna need reinforcements. And Rick is like, I know we've been calling her little ass kicker, but are you seriously suggesting we arm my baby? Oh, you mean the hole in the wall gang. That makes more sense, yeah. And yeah, it is genuinely, because you can understand why he's reluctant to trust them. He points out, Tomas, Andrew, and oh, but Oscar, yeah, and where's Oscar now? I guess maybe he's the one who had the concussion. Oh, right, rhetorical question, fair enough. And yeah, like, it looks like he is, starting to at least consider the idea at least a little bit, and then he's, hallucinates Lori. I do really appreciate he's also really very much not over, her death, and that is like, everybody grieves in different ways. There's truly no wrong way to grieve. Some people do, yeah, really struggle to accept that the person is dead, and feel like they see and hear them everywhere, And just, I'm pretty sure that was Sarah Wayne Callies. If not, it's, someone who looked. I guess I could check just real quick. I mean, she is listed as appearing in the episode. Yeah, I believe that was her. And just her standing there, just, she's standing still, but just her eyes, and maybe also in part the fact that she is standing completely still, just, it gets a lot across. Like, hypothetically, let's say that was a mannequin instead, because she's not moving, it wouldn't have the same effect, because there's something going on there in the face, even if she isn't moving. Yeah, and he's standing there with the gun, and what he's shouting, like, to him, he's shouting at Laurie's ghost, but to everybody else, it looks like he's shouting at the hole in the wall gang, because it's just, the words fit both. And yeah, they understandably, they run off, And I do also really appreciate the thing about, I can't be responsible. If you send us back out there, you will be. Yeah, the conversation between Carol and Carl was also great. She can tell he needs something, so they talk about, it's so quiet here, and, and yeah, he admits, all he can think about is being mean to his mom, who's now dead, and that, yeah, for some, that is exactly where your mind, that's where it sticks, And let's see, I think that pretty much, right, yeah, Daryl and Carol, I think it's Rick who asks, what about Carol? And he's just like, she'll understand. And I mean, I guess technically she does, but she's not exactly happy about it. Just, yeah. I think that might just about cover. Right, Greg Nicotero played a zombie in this one. I believe he's done that before as well. And it is one of those things of like, you know, yeah, if you work on the makeup, wearing the makeup and acting with it can make sense. Not for everyone. Yeah, and one of the Woodbury survivors, Brendan Cornwell, is the uncle of the first set of twins to play Judith Grimes. And yeah, really looking forward to the next episode. Without the Hole in the Wall gang, it is going to be difficult to fend off the governor's men and women. And yeah, I think there is some chance that they are going to attack. Let's see. I think that covers everything. Yeah, just another phenomenal episode. I can hardly wait to see the next one, and it won't be too long. I guess Tuesday is currently the plan for when I'll do the next. Right, I did appreciate, I forget which Hole in the Wall gang member it is, but, you know, one of them, like, you know, yeah, the thing about, you know, oh, so are you okay? And she's like, and at first, you know, she's like, what does that mean? Oh, I'm not the mother, you know, because, like, yeah, you know, she's a week old. Are you okay? Because childbirth can be very hard on her, you know, so... And yeah, you know, again, it is this thing of, you know, it's the fact that there is this baby, you know, it's adorable, and thankfully it's healthy, and it's, you know, it's eating like a rock and sleeping like a horse, or maybe it was the other way around. And yeah, you know, that there is a life-affirming quality to that, but at the same time, every single time they meet a new person, or a new person, you know, realizes, oh, the baby has now been born, they also have to tell them, yeah, you know, Lori didn't make it. Yeah, you know, the Hole in the Wall gang member, you know, points out, you have certainly been through a lot. Might even make a couple of really excellent seasons of television.